Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing linear graphs, which is straight lines. Linear means straight, right? And we are going to be using the table method to draw these. Right now you have done this in functions, so you should be able to fill in this table, but if not, we will do it again today. Alright, so these are all your x values, and this is your rule that you need to use. Alright? So to find the y values, you need to substitute your x values in place of x, and then your answer will be the y value. So let's look at the first one. The first one, you need to substitute 2 in place of x. So as you can see on the screen, I've taken my formula and I put 2 in place of x. Now the important thing to note here, when you're substituting, you have to use brackets. Okay, if you don't use brackets, you're going to get the wrong answer. So make sure you put brackets every single time. Alright, and now you can put this entire thing in your calculator and just press equals and get an answer of 4. And then fill it into your table. Right? You don't need to write anything out. You literally put it into your calculator. So what I want you to do now for the second one, you are going to type -3, open brackets, -1, close brackets, -2, exactly like I've written it on the screen, and that's what you're going to put in your calculator. Exactly like that. Press equals, you should get an answer of 1. Then what you can do is press your side arrow, and you'll see that you can edit your calculation. So you can edit this equation here, and then move it all the way to your bracket, delete -1, put 0, press equals, and you should get an answer of -2. And then you don't have to retype the whole time. You can just substitute in your new value and save time. Okay, and then you can substitute the next one, which is 1, and you'll get -5 as your answer. Substituting 2, and you should get -8 as your answer. Alright, so this is the easy part. Now we need to plot these points on a Cartesian plane. Okay, now your x and y coordinates are joint. Alright, so these are your first set of coordinates. These are your second set, and so forth. Right? And remember, with your sets of coordinates, you have an x and a y. So this is your x and this is your y, and these are together. So you just put it in a different format. -2 and 4. Do you see how we've just put it next to each other? Okay. Next one, this is your x, this is your y, so you'll have -1 and 1. Next one, 0 and -2, 1 and -5, 2 and -8. Now you don't actually have to write this out, alright? It's just sometimes easier to read if you write it out instead of looking at the column. Okay, now we are going to plot these points. Right, so I put my points on the side of my Cartesian plane so I don't have to keep going back and forth. And the first one is -2 and 4. So -2 is your x line and 4 is your y line. So here's -2 on your x line, here's 4 on your y line, and at their meeting point, you put your first dot. Okay, my dots are very big because it's very difficult to get it accurate. But yours will be probably way smaller than mine. Next one is -1 and 1. So there's 1, there's -1. Put your dot over there at the meeting point. 0 and -2. 0 for the x is in the middle over here. And then -2 is over here for the y. So at the meeting point, that means that you stay on the line and you actually just move it to -2 over there. Alright, then we have 1, which is your x, and -5 on your y, so you go down to -5, put your dot. Then we have 2 for x and 8 for y, so you go down until -8, put your dot. Now what you're going to do is connect these dots with a ruler, and it has to be a straight line. If it's not a straight line, that means you're plotting incorrectly. Alright, and then I want you to put 2 arrows at the end of your lines, because that means the graph is continuous. And your graph is continuous because if I had to put more dots into your table or more numbers into your table, it would just keep going and going. Okay, and now you need to name your graph. So you take the equation from here, which is y is equal to -3x minus 2, and you add it next to the line, like so. Okay, pretty simple, hey? And now if you want to be creative, you can go take your colors, so your highlighters, and go over this line. But please note, you need to draw this in pencil, because in an exam, you cannot redo it if you do it in pen. So draw everything in pencil, then go over it with a color or a pen or whatever. Okay, you don't need to be scribbling out. Don't be untiny, don't be unneat. Alright, take respect for your work. Then exercise 2. Now these are exactly the same as what we've just done. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video here. I want you to complete these 3 tables and I want you to plot them by yourselves. Okay? Then you can rewatch this video and mark it. You need to practice this on your own. So you have to do this by yourself. Unfortunately, I am not there to watch you. So you need to be a responsible adult and you need to do this by yourself. Okay. So take your calculator and complete this. I'm going to go through the answers now. So if you've done it, welcome back. Let's do the answers. Alright, so I've already put everything into my calculator and I am now just filling in my answers into the table. Okay, so you should have gotten these answers with your calculator. And now you're going to take each one and you're going to plot it individually. So you're going to first plot 1, complete 1, then plot 2, and then plot 3 separately. Okay, and all on the same Cartesian plane. So here's your Cartesian plane. For number 1, you're going to first plot, it's -7 and -9. So you're going to put your dots over there. Then you're going to put your next dot, your next dot, your next dot. And you'll see it forms a straight line. So you're going to take your ruler, connect the dots, because obviously it's a linear graph, so it's going to be a straight line. So connect the dots, and then put your name of your equation. Alright, now the important thing with naming your line, the reason being is because here we're putting 3 different lines. Now if you don't tell me which one is which equation, when I mark your test, I'm marking you wrong because you didn't tell me which one's which. Okay, so you need to do that. Then you're going to plot the next table. Fill in, plot accordingly. It should look like so. Take your ruler, draw your line, and then label it with its equation. Right, the next one is quite close together, so it was very difficult to do this on the laptop, but you'll get the idea if you did it correctly. Now one thing I want you to note here, it was -1/2, so you put the dots halfway between the lines. Same going here, here was 1.5, so we're actually supposed to put a little bit higher in the middle of 1 and 2. And then our next line, take your ruler, put your equation. So this is what your worksheet should look like. And then once you've done this all in pencil, you take a highlighter and you highlight them in different colors like I did. Okay. Alright, when you're done with that, you can do revision exercise, just a few questions, and then we are done for online school. We will now teach you at actual school. So see you guys soon. Have a nice rest.